Hello everyone, I'm back. This is NikoleAli. I hope everyone is doing well. I should change my intro. I hope everyone is doing fab-tastic. That is fabulous and fantastic conjoined at the hip. Fab-tastic. It's a new word I just made up. Run with it if you want. I might copyright it, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna do a couple of movie reviews and show reviews. I've watched a few movies. Y'all can give me suggestions on movies and shows I should do reviews on, and I'll take that into consideration because I know I do a lot of videos about various topics: politics, traveling, uh, of course we have Melanoid history, a couple of videos about that, history from the past and history being made currently, of course. But I wanted to bring a review of this movie called Message from the King. It was a film, motion picture, done starring Chadwick Boseman. He is the star of the show, and I think Torian Rain, or I think his channel now is called Live with Rain. And I have a lot of respect for Torian. He does really great reviews of movies. He did an excellent review of Get Out, I believe. He talks about Black Panther a lot. I'm probably not going to do a Black Panther review of the trailer. I don't see the point of that. But I am going to see the movie this Saturday. I have tickets already. And I am so ready to go and see Black Panther. And not because I feel like it's going to change anything in society or it's going to make our plight as Black people any different, but because I think it's a great movie. I think it would be great to see. I've watched the trailers and it seems like an awesome movie. Of course, one of my idols, Angela Bassett, as a actress, is in it, and Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out is in it, and I think he is so fine. Chadwick Boseman as well, and Michael B. Jordan, and Lupita Nyong'o, and the list goes on and on. Forrest Whitaker, like, yeah, it's awesome. So it's like a slam dunk cast. So I'm waiting to see that. But yeah, I wanted to come with a review of this movie called Message from the King. I saw it on Netflix, and I'll come probably with other reviews. I just saw Tony Baker's review of Cloverfield Paradox. It was a good review. He gave it 2.5 saxophones. You know how he do. Go watch his video. I might link it in the description. And oh yeah, the one LVZ did a review of Get Out. That was good. I have to try to find it. Maybe I can link that in the description too. So Torian's review, one LVZ, and then Tony Baker. I'll try to link those so that y'all can see all that. But Message from the King is a film. This is from Wikipedia, as you can see at the top. Just type in message from the King in Google and it'll come up. Probably the first one to come up. I think it had like a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is interesting because it had a higher rating. If we go back, let's see. I think it had a higher rating. Let's see, wherever I look at 76%, 43%. Okay, 43% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Cloverfield Paradox had a 16% rating. So it's up there, you know. But it was released in 2016 as an American revenge action thriller film directed by Fabrice Duwels and written by Stephen Cornwell and Oliver Butcher. It stars Chadwick Boseman, my boo, Luke Evans, Teresa Palmer, and Alfred Molina. The film's plot revolves around a man from South Africa who travels to Los Angeles in order to avenge his young sister's death. Murder, actually. She was murdered. So, FYI, this is a spoiler video. So, everything I said prior to that is not a spoiler, clearly. But everything from here on out will be a spoiler because I'm reading from Wikipedia, and I'm also going to give my own personal commentary and opinions and insight into some of the meanings behind the movie. So if you don't want to have a spoiler, if you haven't seen the movie Message from the King yet on Netflix, you need to go watch it now and come back to the video and see, this video after this point. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a chance to go ahead and do that. If you have not seen the movie and you do not want spoilers, click off the video and go watch another video. Go watch another one of my videos. Go watch something else. Go watch the movie. Or, go buy a ticket to see Black Panther or whatever you're gonna do. All right? 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get into it. So, this talks about the statistics, who was directed by, producers, screenplay written by, starring these people, music, cinematography. The music was good in the movie, actually. Cinematography, edited, production company, Entertainment One, The Ink Factory, Joker Films, distributed by Netflix, released September 8, 2016, the U.S. August 4th, 2017. So I saw it last year, late last year, like October or something. Budget was 10 million, box office 268,000, over 268,000. So it didn't do well in the box office, and I think that's why they sold it to Netflix. And so here's a synopsis. Jacob King is living in South Africa. He receives a message from his estranged sister Bianca, who is a aspiring model and actress. She's living in LA with her husband and her husband's son, that she is in, she lets him know that she's in trouble and has something that they want, and he doesn't know who they are. He finds out later when he comes to LA. He comes to LA and he has 7 days to figure out what happened to his sister. He's thinking that maybe she's just missing, but he comes to find out that she actually was killed because she disappears. The neighbor informs King that his sister's husband disappeared, and the husband left Bianca with his son because he was killed too. He finds a landlady who looks like this woman was in True Blood. She was a werewolf. She was like one of the older, more experienced werewolves, and she always looks like a meth head. I don't know what the deal is. Like, she old and raggedy and wrinkled. But the landlady in this movie, that's all I could think of, was like she's gonna turn into a werewolf or something. But yeah, she was telling him that Bianca's rent was paid on time. They even paid the, they paid the rent out and all this. Somebody paid the rent out, and then that's how he got information to go try to find his sister. And she said a local business owner, like at a car wash, was able to pay her rent before she left, and that she descended from sobriety. She was sober, and she went back to drug use and prostitution. King goes and finds the person who owns the business, named Duke, with a group of men who part of a gang, like some kind of Russian or Serbian or whatever type gang. They deny, they act like they don't know who she was. Like, he says, okay, I'm looking for my sister Bianca. They looking like, what? I don't know who that is. Whatever. He don't believe him, which he's right in not believing them because they all shady looking. And then a local shopkeeper tips King off. I think the Asian dude at the little Asian grocery store. His mom don't want to talk to him, but because his sister would go in that grocery store a lot, I think. And the young Asian guy, tells him that his sister is probably dead. And so he, because his mom said, like, she says, I think in Mandarin, she tells her son, has he checked the morgue? He's like, what did she say? And the dude was like, have you checked the morgue? And so he goes to the morgue. He found that she's tortured. she was tortured and murdered. Like they cut her eyes out. They did all kinds of stuff to her, burned cigarettes on her and stuff, like crazy stuff, and murdered her. And he told the dude at the morgue, he was like, "Is this your sister? Is this who you looking for?" And he was like, "No, it's not my sister." Then he's crying. He's like in the hallway crying, breaking down. And then he goes from sorrow and absolute sadness to I need to get revenge on these motherfuckers. So then he goes and finds like among her belongings several photographs of her with various men, like a gang member who had denied knowing her. One of the dudes at the car wash who said he didn't know who she was, he saw him and he was like, okay, I got this motherfucker. Then he finds a business card from a dentist in Beverly Hills and a pack of cigarettes. And in the I think on the inside of the pack of cigarettes there was a spoon that people use to snort cocaine. One of them real small spoons, like a baby spoon. He found one of those and he was like, oh shit, he knew his sister was in drugs and stuff. And so then he confronts the gang members at the not the gas station, the car wash. He goes back to the car wash. He beat the shit out of them. He went to the pull it back, rewind. He went to a hardware store. He went to a hardware store and he got some chain, like a bike chain or chain link thing or whatever. And he went to the car wash and he wrapped that chain around his hand. He beat the shit out of the dudes. And then he took some kind of washer fluid or something and sprayed this dude's face, and his face was like burned off and stuff. It was disgusting. But he said this is a message from the king, and then he took the dude's phone. Later on at the party, he realized that the husband, Bianca's husband, her sister's husband, was pimping her out to pay off his debts to the crazy people at the car wash. Then he used the phone he stole to lure Bianca's drug dealer to the party that her old roommate is having, who is a whore, because she tried to suck his dick at the party, and he was like, whatever, get out of here, whatever. Then he beat the shit out of the drug dealer when he showed up outside in front of everybody. He's like, I don't care. He beat the dude up, and then was like, let him know I'm here. Tell him I said it. Like that's pretty much what he was saying. Tell him I said it. So then he interrupts the prostitute, the girl at the hotel where he's staying at. She has a little girl because they done switched rooms or whatever and didn't tell him. And then he said, okay, I didn't tell nobody that you in here, fucking for money and everything, and got your child in the next room, so let me borrow your car or whatever. So he gave her some money, borrowed the car. He goes to the dentist's office. The dentist is acting like he don't know what's going on, like he don't know his sister. And then he follows the dentist to a man named Frank Leary, who is a politician running for office. And then the dentist is like, well, I can make this go away if you pay me off. So he's like, all right, how much you want? And he's like, I want $100,000 and $750,000 for the blackmail money, because we were all involved with this man's sister being killed. And what the politician don't know, but the dentist does know, is that Jacob King and Bianca King, and then their brother who was killed, they were all in a gang in South Africa where they put hits on people, where they did all kinds of stuff. And now Jacob is out of that particular lifestyle. He's not in that lifestyle anymore. He cleaned his life up because his brother was killed over some debts or something, and he knows his sister's dead now. So he was cleaning his life up and everything, and now he's coming to get his sister. He knows she's dead now, but he's trying to right the wrongs that these people have done to his family. So the whole movie is like about revenge, and he's getting it like every 5 minutes. He busting somebody's ass. He doing something. It's action packed, and I loved it. So at the house, King he done broke into he done got into the house And it came up the hill, and he right outside the door. They talking about him, talking trash about him. He right outside the door listening. He go to the pool. He see his sister's stepson, Armand. He's like 14. He at the mansion in the pool with this little gay fairy dude, you know. And then Preston, or Wentworth, whatever his name is, Preston Wentworth, that's his name, the dentist. He notices his car on the side of the road, and he calls for the hitmen that he just bought off. The hitmen happen to be LAPD officers, which is, yeah, already, there's so many secrets to real life, or ideas to real life in this movie. It's crazy. They arrest him, and then he realizes they gonna kill him because the way they talking on the phone, like, yeah, we got him, yeah, we gonna do this, yeah, we gonna do that. He was like, oh shit. He escapes, and they beat him almost to death. And his motel neighbor, the prostitute, the white girl, Kelly, she finds him, nurses him back to health in her apartment, her room. And the gang members from the car wash, they realize that the car wasn't stolen, and they try to figure out who the girl is to try to use her as leverage, I guess. King recovers after being beat up, and then he goes to the hardware store where he got a chain from, and he starts to make bomb materials, because this is something that he learned when he was in the gangs in South Africa. Then he finds the encrypted SD card in his sister's belongings, and that's when the whole shit just start breaking down, because the content, the footage on the SD card is incriminating to the guy that's running for Leary, the guy that's running for public office. He's a politician. So then he realizes that's what the killers wanted. So he's only able to listen to snippets of audio. So he takes the SD card back to the little Asian grocery store, and the young guy there, the lady's son that runs the grocery store, he's good with computers. So he helps him to see, hear some of the audio, but he can't figure out exactly what it is. So he sneaks into Preston's home that night, and that when he snuck into the house, and he called not Preston, Jacob King snuck into Leary's house, the politician's house, again, and he called his cell phone when he was down the hall in his office at the house. And then he looked at his phone like, hold up, how's somebody calling me from my office? Ain't nobody in my office. He go down the hall to the office, and he's standing there like, yo, what's up? That was like the best part of the movie at that point. I was like, oh shit, I had to keep rewinding that part. But that was cool. He forces him to decrypt the file, and then he reveals the camera footage of Preston committing acts of pedophilia on Armand during a party, like making him have sex with men, and he can see his sister on there. And then what is it? It was something else that happened. Oh yeah, King lures Duke and his gang members and Wentworth, the dentist, back to the mansion, and then he kills Preston because he's so overwhelmed by what he's seeing, him being a pedophile. And it was basically like a sex party and everything, but they had kids there and all kinds of whores and strippers and stuff there, but they had a lot of boys there, and they was having sex with them and stuff, and forcing them to have sex with people, and they didn't want to. They're kids. And then King takes Armand back to Kelly's motel, and then so like everybody else that was there is like they killed or whatever. And then the one that gets away, the one that he beat up and had his face all messed up and jacked up, he had to wear a mask, his face is all messed up. He ambushes him in the room, beats him up. The boy escapes, and then King tries to chase Armand, and then he ultimately gives up. The boy just runs away. So we don't know what happened to Armand. He just like ran off because he's used to being with, the politician, the dude that's raping him. He don't know nothing else. And so he runs away. King leaves after that because he done settled his debt. He feel like he done did everything he came to do. He's 7 days is up. He gotta go. And so he travels back home to South Africa amidst leery posters on the wall of the city of Los Angeles where he's welcome back. And when he gets back to South Africa, that's when you realize what he does. He is a detective in the police force. He is a well-decorated detective on a police force in South Africa. Because when he gets back, the other officers give him so much respect. Okay, my sister getting on my nerves now. Get out of here, Brittany. They give him so much respect. And I'm like, damn, like that's when it really hits you. Like, he ain't no regular dude trying to come, avenge his sister's death and everything. He has respect in the community where he's from. And he feel like he done did everything he could do to avenge her death. He went to the bottom, went to the bottom and came back up, down to the bottom again. He then came back up again. So I'm telling y'all, this movie is awesome. I watched it like 4 times. I know I done skipped some parts in it, but I don't want to give complete spoilers or whatever. But yeah, I know this video is like, pretty much spoiled, whatever. But I gave you the warning. So if you didn't listen, oh well. But anyway, I wanted to bring this review. I'll come back with other reviews, at another time for other videos, other movies and shows. And yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Maybe this can start a conversation about other things that are within the movie, different messages in the movie. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.